was a bouncer in college, and I made a ton of money at Ohio State, so I'd saved it all. And I'd saved like, I don't know, 60, 70 grand. Now you run out of that pretty quick.
I was a
yeah.
bouncer in college, by the way, is code word for drug dealer. Just, I don't know.
And I worked at this bar in Columbus that's it held 1,200 people. There was always a line, so everybody would slip me 100 to get in. So I was making like
Now we're talking
$3-4 grand a night. It was dope. It was probably the best.
$3-4 grand a night.
It was probably one of the best jobs I've ever had. Because it was only 20 to 30 people gave you $100 to skip the line and get in. It was the best.
Wow.
It was one of the best jobs I've ever had.
You let it known that you give me $100, you're in.
100%. And if anybody from Ohio State came in that was a legend, like Herbstreit. Kirk Herbstreit was just beginning College Game Day at that point.
Why do people give a shit about
$200.
Kirk Herbstreit? Sidebar. Like, he was an okay college quarterback, right?
Yeah. So he played for Ohio State. Wasn't very
okay.
good. He wasn't very good at all.
Yeah.
But
he's an analyst, no?
He is an excellent analyst, and he's an excellent personality. And he found his thing, and he's awesome. So like when the old Ohio State guys came in, it was just a nod, and it was a what's up, and I let those guys in, and then everybody else had to pay me.
Is that a weird thing when guys are like still hanging out at the college bar when they're 45? Is like,
no.
Who's the guy that has 2 Heismans and then really didn't do much in the NFL? Ohio State
Archie,
guy, right?
yeah, Archie Griffin, yeah.
He's just hanging out on High Street being like,
He never did. So he never hung out there. But the bar that I worked at wasn't on the college campus. It was downtown. So it was open to everybody. So it was anybody from like 20s to late 30s who was there.
Okay.
So for Herbstreit to come in or guys like that, it wasn't unusual.
I'm thinking about getting a job as a bouncer.
for $2-3 grand a night?
Well,
yeah.
It was just do it at a packed club where they got to pay you to get in. So that's
hard to get away with that stuff. I bounced too, and
well, now they got cameras.
Well, that's the thing.
I didn't have cameras, brother.
We would walk up and down the line. And this is back in the day when there would be the
Cameras
big,
ruin everything.
They
You
really
can't
did.
do any crime.
No.
Yeah. The big box clubs where there would be like lines when people were super into like, we called it techno and shit. And I'd walk up and down the line and be like, $20, skip the line. I didn't know I could get 100. I was like, $20, skip the line, $20. And then girls would be like, you can't do that. And I'd be like, Well, let's see. I'm going to do it, and let's see if I can do it or not. And we'll see.
Right.
Definitely.
We'll see what happens. And then, but also I feel like people were smarter back then, where like, the cameras might catch you now because these idiots come up and they're like, I heard I give you $100. You're like, what the idiot?
Yeah.
No. Like, if you didn't have a fake ID before they changed it to like the vertical for the underage kids in Jersey, you would just fold up a 20 behind the ID, hand the ID, and then it'd be like, all right, cool. And it was that simple. You could be 19 years old with your ID that said 19, fold a 20 behind it, and boom, you go in. Easy peasy.
You're good to go. And my dad taught me about it. He was like, dude, I was like going on dates in high school. And he was like, oh, you going to that concert? And I was like, yeah, I wish I had better tickets or whatever. He goes, oh, just grease the guy.
Grease the guy.
And I was like, what the f does that mean?
Yeah.
And then he told me, he's like, oh, just fold it up. Make sure it's folded. Give him the handshake, and you're good to go. And it worked at the first concert I went to.
Yeah.
And then after that lesson stuck with me forever.
That was one of the saddest things about New Yankee Stadium, because you used to be able to do the same thing at Old Yankee Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Where, you'd buy like a bleacher creature seat for like $10. And then like the second inning, you got your stuff, you go up, you get the guy, you duck him a 20, and next thing you know, you're, sixth row behind the now you go to do that, and they're like, we can't do that, sorry, I have to scan it. And I'm like, I hate what this world's become.
It's not only a barcode, it's a moving barcode. There's a fucking urine sample.
Yeah.
And it sucks. But yeah, back in the day, because when I was in school there, that's what we would do.
Watch a New York Yankees game from 2001 when they were great. And it looks like the stadium is like packed forever, because it was. Now watch a New York Yankee game today, and it'll look like there's literally nobody in frame behind home plate.
Those tickets are $2,000.
And they don't let anybody sit there.
Yeah.
Used to pay the $2,000, and then if you're not coming in, like, all right, let's get some guys, go up there. It looks better on TV. There's fans.
Slide them down, move them down.
Not anymore, man.
They don't do it. They'd rather have it empty.
They'd rather have it empty. Because I think what happens is some scumbag is watching the game at home and goes, hey, those are my seats.
Yep.
I want a refund.
I want a refund.
Wow.
Yeah.